It's pretty interesting. Primer was made for like $5,000. It's pretty amazing.
Regardless,
not as popular as
five Gs.
Activity, but still.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, Paranormal Activity, and you guys see this. It happened way before Paranormal Activity. But movies like Paranormal Activity become popular very quickly, and all of a sudden, the big companies go, "Oh shit, these are really popular." And by the way, if we funded some of these, we'd make them for like a 10% of what we make most of our movies at, and we could make 10 times as much money. So then you have things like Fox Searchlight.
Well, yeah. That's been around for a while, though, hasn't it?
Fox Searchlight's been around forever. I'm just saying Paranormal Activity is an injection
to
something like that, right?
And really, it was all started with Blair Witch.
Where Fox goes... Blair Witch, that's the example I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Where they go, look at Blair Witch. If we make a certain studio house that's a subset of our own studio house that just goes and makes indie movies, we're going to make a shit ton of money. And that's exactly what's happened. Fox Searchlight has made some great movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which never would have been made, or would have been made into a very different degree, because it happens to be kind of a sci-fi movie that doesn't really get wrapped in that, right? Would have been made in a lot less quality and for a lot less money, and probably wouldn't have had the kind of celebrities in it that it had. But there's cachet to be had in here as well, right?
Yeah.
You have like, oh, I'm only going to be in. I'm gonna do certain indie movies, like for the actors to be in those things, right? Because it gives them street cred, right?
And there are video game companies that are apparently doing the same thing.
Exactly. So that's my point, right? I think that the game companies are going to get a lot smarter about this. They're going to have their AAA titles. They're going to open a lot of smaller studios that go, this is a really good idea, but we don't think we could put, $20 million in it. But we could probably justify 1 or 2.
Sure.
And let's go make it.
And it's not like that hasn't happened for decades. I mean, you have...
It's just a cycle.
You have to... The problem is that you have to... If you're a small developer working for the first time on these things, it's... We'd love to have you, Mark. If we could figure out how to get the Skype working on this thing, maybe we'll do this again next time. Regardless.
Or non-Skype. Whatever we can get to make this thing work,
Yes. But the point being, you could probably talk a lot better about indie games than we could, but whatever. What's my point? Oh, yeah. As a small as a developer starting out with your great game idea, you have to go and pitch this.
Yes.
And make it through however many pitches to all these different developers. You might get picked up very much.
And you probably get rejected all over the map. All the people that you think are awesome and you love and have grown up idolizing will tell you to go to hell.
Yes, but now with this newfangled internet thing, with Kickstarter, with things like YouTube, where you can spread trailers. Who knows? Or Twitter, and something might catch fire.
The tweeter.
You might have Will Wheaton tweet about your new game, and then people, you'll have a bunch of angry nerds, not angry birds, but angry nerds.
Angry nerds.
Like, oh my god, that's exciting.
Angry Bergs.
That's racist.
Yeah, have you seen that? The Conan O'Brien sketch. It's good.
It's terrible.
Anyway, yeah, it is racist.
My point is that there's all these different avenues that have been sustaining indie games as of late, in addition to the traditional manners, and I think that's going to just proliferate more and more.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that if you have an idea for an indie game tomorrow, you're going to get your $2 million off Kickstarter and be off. It's still hard.
It is. It's still very, very hard. And so that's my point. The threshold is big, but still. I think the bigger studios are going to keep wising up to this, and I think they're going to do everything they can to assimilate it, because they like to do one thing above all else. And God bless them for this. They like to make money. And if there is money to be made in indie games, they will go out there and they will find these projects and they will help to fund them. And eventually, if there's money to be made in something like Kickstarter with these projects, they're going to go, oh man, if this many people want to see this kind of a project, they'll probably spend money on it. Instead of having to put it in a Kickstarter, you can just put it into buying the game once it's done. So... I think we covered it pretty well.
I think so, and that was actually pretty long. That was like 35 minutes.
That was a good convo.
So you know what we can do now?
Q&A.
Oh, an extra long echo screen.
Yeah.
So Q&A.
One that will surely go down in the annals of history.
So if you have a question, send it private message to COTGW.
Right.
right there.
Perhaps you've been thinking of a question this entire time, this entire inane conversation,
and we've
been
been completely ignoring you.
And we do not read the comments. We don't care about you.
Nope.
Perhaps you have a question about one of the shows we do at the Clan of the Grey Wolf. Perhaps you have a question about Mrs. Rue and the wine that she was drinking. I don't know. It could be anything.
Yeah, it was kind of cold for red wine.
I'm just saying.
That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
I mean, maybe she likes it chilled.
Maybe it was blood.
Maybe it's not. Well, then it wouldn't be cold unless she was chilling the blood.
Maybe she was.
Are you saying your wife is a vampire?
Yep.
I will make sure to remind her of this phenomenon next time I talk to her. In any case, whatever question you might have, send a private message where Rue just put the
yes, right there.
CFTGW.
So
private message. And we get to take a break, don't we?
Yes, we do have to take a break.
We take a break because we've been talking too long.
Yep. We'll be right back.
After these messages.
Bark, bark.